Welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program. Target Individual Experience. Can't see the little girl. Hello. Stick my middle finger out at you. Yeah, how you like that? You don't like that shit too well, does it? You looked away quick fast. Anyhow. So they had the female family on the bus talking to me. You know, sitting next to me, doing the palm fixation drill, sticking their thumb out and shit like that. You know, that shit is ridiculous, man. Let me tell you. They really got them convinced, huh? That's okay. That is okay. All right, there's nothing that I said that has not come true. There's nothing that I've exposed that hasn't been done before. All right, the lies, the manipulation, the deceit, the deception. Okay, so like I said, all it leads is just to the breakdown of society. And again, that doesn't make me a prophet for saying that. It's because I know history. Okay, there's a big difference, all right? Because I know history. I read about history, the societies, what happened within societies when people behave a certain way, when those at the top, when the elites, KSY 3311, all right, they targeted me in the vehicle, both driver and passenger. All right, so like I said, when you look at past societies and how those at the top, the elites, whether it be from the Romans, you know, all the way up to now, and we're still under Roman rule and law, right? It's just repackaged in a different form, but it's still, some of the things are still the same. All right, so if you go to YouTube and Google Jordan Maxwell, right? Very informative guy. Look, guy in front there, you know, grab his crotch and then do the hand signal. Look what he's doing. See what he's doing with his hands? All right, see what he's doing with his hands, right? He's trying to mask it though. All right. See, they understand that I can recognize the subtleties in their targeting. And I've said it before, even when it becomes very, very subtle, I can recognize it. Right? And I train, not only did they train me, but I train myself to recognize it so that way, all right, I could develop my own defense mechanism to combat it, even in a subtle form. All right? So it doesn't bypass my consciousness. Most of it bypasses our consciousness. It embeds itself in our subconscious. Right? Hey, they use their children. These kids should be in school. Well, they can stick in this thing out. Tell you. It's the shit that they do. They'll always get new people. You know, people they haven't used before. They target it. Alright? And I guess, you know, me saying, look, see, at least when I'm there with my kids, I make sure they go to school unless they're really, really sick. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, they go into school. You don't see me and my kids hanging out on the sidewalk when they should be in school. Like, that's a no-no. But like I said, they're usually women because the kids are with her, not with him. But like I said, we're talking about educating our kids and the lack of education. And again, remember, they do this because they know if I were to say something, they try to use it to cause conflict. That's what they're all about. They're all about conflict and creating conflict. But then they call themselves Christians, right? And they talk about love and peace. And these people are the most warlike religious fraction that they claim that the Muslims are, right? Christianity is worse than the Muslims, than Islam. People who worship Islam and engage in such things, right? So this is what I'm talking about, right? Right. So when I talk about Christianity and the hypocrisy, That's what I talk about. Christianity and the hypocrisy. They are hypocritical. They are. She could be homeschooling them. So, yeah, I could be a possibility too. So, but anyhow, that in itself, Christianity in itself, is like you can't question it. Whenever you point out the lie, they get angry because it's a built-in condition, right? It is built, like I said, for black people, we have a white supremacist in our subconscious that comes out when somebody tells us the truth about Christianity, right? And again, it's the truth, right? And like I said, I don't gotta make shit up, And this is what Christians do not understand. They have to make shit up, right? I don't gotta make anything up. Nothing at all. Okay? That's the thing. Right? So why do Christians have to make shit up? That's why you see them, particularly on social media, doing these skits. This woman was blessed. I just lost my job, and since I didn't know how I'm going to pay this and pay rent and this and that, and then all of a sudden it's like they give her like, okay, here's $2,000. Right? I mean, they gotta do all of that just to do what? To prove what?
Maybe they could do it through us.
To prove what? If your God was real, you wouldn't need to do all of that. You see, they never think about it that way. If your God was real, why are you doing all of that? Right? See, religion don't allow you to look at your reality because religion blocks you from looking at your reality. And it was the intent of those that created religion, whether it be Christianity or Islam. That was the intent. Right? It's for those in power to pacify your mind, right? To get you to accept suffering that they cause you, right? While you waiting for some savior to come and save you. Meanwhile, you never look at your reality and say, you know what? This is not right. He's driving this thing right here. Right? They never seem to say to themselves, you know what, we need to organize and we need to overthrow these people. Right? Because in the past they've done it before. They've overthrown monarchy and dictatorships, right? And a matter of fact, you look at the U.S. The U.S. helped to overthrow democratically elected leaders in other countries and install tyrants, right? Install dictators. Now, we want to think that we live in America, that America is a democracy. America is not a democracy. America is ruled by wealthy people who fool the majority of people into believing that they have power when they don't. When they don't. As long as you're living under the illusion of democracy, you don't have power. As long as you keep voting for wealthy people who don't put your interests first, will always put their interests first, you don't have power. Right? The little things that they do. Right? The little crumbs that they give us. Okay? It's a distraction. The social division that they create is a distraction. Right? The caste system is alive in America. Right? For a lot of people, particularly if you're a black or if you're Hispanic, there is a caste system. Right? And why do I say this and why I can say this? Just go look at the wealth inequality gap. All right, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Look at the wealth, right, inequality gap. Look at education, okay, and look at healthcare. Right. So the three most important things, right? The wealth gap, education, and what else I just said? Wealth gap, education, and healthcare. Okay? That's what you got to look at. Anyhow, talk to you guys in the next video.